All right, hey everybody. It's me and my shadow. I actually shot this video originally weeks ago, probably like a month and a half, 2 months ago. And there was a big boo-boo that happened during the video, and I've just not been able to get around to making this video again, but we're gonna give it another whirl. So I have before me some interesting items, some wonderful, beautiful items in front of me, and a letter. I received a package in the mail from Mr. Kevin Kline. Hello, Aaron. Praying this package is received and intact. We'll get to that part later. I wanted you to have a small collection of Colorado artifacts, so I put together a tiny end-scraper collection for you. My granddaughters threw in a small knife and a metal detecting find as well. The points are all real. I don't have many really nice ones anymore, but these ain't bad. You take care, my friend. Many blessings, your friend Kevin. P.S. I dug the crystals. He put some crystals in here as well. So, I like how he included here that the points are all real. Like, of course, none of us think Kevin would ever send us fakes, but he's a gentleman, so he included that in there, and I appreciate that, Kevin. But he says it's a tiny collection of stuff. This is what he's referring to, but there's some other stuff here as well. I don't consider this tiny. I would have a really hard time getting rid of any one of the items from my personal collection. And as you can see, he's given me a lot of stuff. And a lot of them are really nice here. So Kevin, thank you. That was very generous. These are all going into a frame, by the way, by themselves, all together. I haven't bought one for it yet. But anyway, he also, some of you might know that I enjoy smoking a pipe every once in a while, having a cigar every once in a while. And Kevin is, as a lot of you probably know, is quite a craftsman. And he made me a pipe. And I mentioned something about in this letter. It says, praying the package is received and intact. Well, fortunately, the U.S. Postal Service, who I've had, I'm not going to go off on a tangent here, but I've had a lot of problems with them for the last 4 years, and this was no different. Kevin made me this beautiful pipe here. Now, I've glued it back together because it arrived broken. The box, when it finally showed up, I don't know, how long was it, Kevin? 5 days late? The box looks like it had been used for an accordion. And they gave him the runaround on getting his insurance return. I tried to go in and talk to them. They gave me the runaround. Unfortunately, this arrived broken. But I have glued it back together, and I want to show it to you guys because this is just absolutely beautiful. And he put a lot of time and effort into this. But he made me this antler pipe here. Absolutely beautiful, handmade by him. He did all the leather work too. Look on the stem here. This is also a piece of antler here. He has Kevin, forgive me if I get this wrong. He put a feather on here. That's inlaid. He inlaid malachite, I think he said, and crushed red coral. That's actually inlaid into there, and then he I guess he put like a shellac or a finish over the top to seal it in there. And I know my camera isn't going to do this justice, but that is just some tiny little intricate work there that he did. And look at this. Yeah! Woo! He did the same thing and put an arrowhead. Look, it's like a mosaic. You see, that's how that feather is too. It's tiny little crushed pieces. See how the light's catching that? Brilliant work. Simply beautiful. I am going to actually smoke out of this. I don't care that super glue's holding it back together. Little super glue never hurt anybody. Plus, you don't inhale pipe smoke. It's just pipe tobacco, and you don't breathe that into your lungs. Not only did he make me that beautiful pipe, though, but he made me a pipe tamper and pipe tool. Me and my shadow. Same thing. The scales on this are, I believe he said, were also antler. He put me and my shadow on there, personalized it for me. Did that inlaid malachite and crushed red coral in there. I can't remember. I think he said, I don't know if it's actually red crushed coral or some sort of imitation red crushed coral, because I know he said that red coral is extinct or something, so I don't want to get you in trouble here, Kevin. Whatever, he used whatever the legal thing is that you can use, I'm sure. Anyway, yeah, little pipe tool here, which is really cool. You gotta have a pipe tool. You got your bowl scraper there. I guess he bought a prefabricated steel pipe tool, and then he knocked the old scales off and put his own custom ones on. Got your bowl scraper there for reaming the bowl. Got your poker. I have a poker. And then, of course, the tamp itself. And the pipe, you tamp down the tobacco. Another feather there. Beautiful work, Kevin. Thank you so much, sir. Absolutely love these. Then, he also made this. The pipe actually came in this pouch. He did all this leather work himself. I think he said he bought this or got it somewhere, this section here, but he did this bead work down here and the shell. He did all the leather work and weaving. It's got a drawstring on the pouch so you can pull it tight. Hang it around your neck. And look at this too, the seashell. He did the same thing here in the grooves. Put more malachite and crushed red coral in there. Isn't that beautiful? I love that color scheme too. That shell's a nice touch. Anyway, I know you guys all know Kevin Kline. He's in all of our comments, huge supporter of the community and a big part of the community himself. He's got a few videos up. I'll put a link in the description below in this video so that you can go to his channel and you should look at some of the other. He's made all kinds of cool gadgets and gizmos and trinkets and baubles. Beautiful stuff. All right, let's get on to these artifacts now. Okay, so first of all, this is the big boy in there. I guess I forgot to ask him what this one is. Some kind of a huge scraper, I would assume. It's basically a flake, although there is, you can see where multiple flakes have been, but it's pretty flat on the bottom. And he dug all these in Colorado himself. I guess he did a lot of shelter digging. He said that he dug up a metate one time, and I think maybe some of these came from that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin. But he and his buddy dug up a metate. This is an incredible story. And they were in a shelter digging, and when they lifted up this metate, he said there was, I think, 74 points and scrapers. I think it was points, and then some scrapers that were underneath that. And he and his buddy split it down the middle. His buddy took some, half, and Kevin took the other half. And I can't remember if he said some of this is from that or not. I could just be confusing that with a cool story he was telling me. Anyway, we won't go through all of these, but we're going to go through some of them. Look at these beautiful turtleback scrapers. Look at the color on this one. Wow. Again, I can't, I'm too greedy. Like, this is very generous to give someone some of your, I can't even imagine selling something out of my collection, much less gifting this much to somebody. Kevin, this is really, truly an amazing gift. This is a beautiful, I don't even know what some of this material is. Some of it is unfamiliar to me. Uniface little scraper. Probably I'd call that another turtleback scraper, really. Look at the fine work on that. Wow. I think this might be the knife that he was saying got thrown in. Look, you can see my finger back behind it. Trying to put something dark behind it, but you get the point. Totally translucent. Nice little flake knife of some sort. Looks like they put a notch into it too. Then he sent me all kinds of these little end scrapers, and like some of these you could just mistake for a flake, but if you look closer, I'm not getting the focus. See this edge here is worked. This is all, well, the camera's not picking it up too well, but it's a little end scraper. A lot of these little guys in here. Little knives and stuff too. Some of these too are just, I'm trying to find some of these really tiny ones. Look at this. Yeah, this is a great one. Look at that. Most of these are end scrapers, but like I said, it makes me wonder how many of these I've passed up or have that are in my flake collection that I haven't examined well enough. Because, I mean, look at this. You could just mistake that as a flake, but then look at that nice beveled edge there. Little end scraper, thumb scraper, beautiful. All kinds of that stuff. He sent me some pottery shards too. I'm excited about that because I don't find much pottery. There's another nice piece. I think this is pottery. Yeah, that's pottery. He sent me some cool local geology. Look at these crystals, the nice terminations up here at the end. Ontario Rockhound. I know he'd probably enjoying seeing some of this stuff. I know you guys are enjoying seeing it too. I'm not sure what kind of quartz that would be. I'm assuming some kind of, I don't know. Some kind of smoky quartz or something. If that's a thing. And you think with my dad being a geologist, I remember more of this stuff, but I've forgotten a lot of it. But look at this, guys. Look at these little bitty points. See, around here, that's similar to our Washitas. There's another real similar point that we have to these triangular side notched kinds, but I can't remember what they're called. But this is like what we call Washita. Kevin called it something different. It might be something slightly different, but look at that. Look at those two beautiful. But I'm about to show you guys what I think is my favorite artifact out of the whole box. Look at that. Look how thin and delicate. I'm paranoid I'll drop this. Just a tiny little bit of base damage on it. But I mean, I'd wet my pants if I found this out on the river. It's just amazing how tiny and delicate this is. You know, they are able to get flakes across both sides of that. That's just incredible. And then I guess this is probably the metal detecting find they're talking about. A nice buffalo nickel above my thumbnail there. Looks like it says 1929, I guess. I love coins. As some of you probably know, I'm an avid metal detectorist as well, so I really love coins. The main problem with these coins, one of the reasons they discontinued them, is that date was high up there on that Indian chief's shoulder, and because it sat up so high, it would rub off really easily, and you can see that date's just barely there. That was one of the main problems with this coin. One of the best designed coins, I think, in American coinage, but they discontinued it, and partly so, from what I understand, is because that date would wear off so easily. A lot of these, you dig these up metal detecting, it's about a 75% chance the date's gone. Yeah, I hope I'm not forgetting anything here, Kevin. I think I've kind of been playing with some of this stuff and it's been scattered around. I had to gather it back up. But anyway, I really wanted you guys to see this. Kevin, I'm so sorry it took me so long to put this out here. But guys, go check out his channel. Look at some of his other crafts and some of his artifacts. Give him a subscription and a thumbs up and a hello. You guys know Kevin. He's probably one of the most well-known guys in the community. I mean that. Nicest guy ever. So Thank you very much, Kevin. Very generous, and I will always treasure these. Thanks for watching, everybody.